Any petition? Your mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, I am Honorable Ben Roland Sigbakpa. I represent Ethiopia East, Ethiopia West, and by the special grace of God, we're from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from the Ejobe family, number 16, Ekraka Street, Kokori Inland, Ethiopia East Local Government of Delta State. It is signed by Reverend Dr. F.A. Robinson Ejobe. It's on behalf of Ejobe Daniel, who was killed in active service with the Federal Road Safety Corps on the 25th April 2021. And they're saying that all efforts to reach the FRC to process and pay his entitlement have not yielded any positive results. Hence, they are appealing to the House to help them and to get the Federal Road Safety Corps to redeem the terms and conditions of service as provided for their staff, and as it affects the late Daniel Ejobe. Mr. Speaker, the petition is duly signed, and I want to seek leave of the House and Mr. Speaker to lay it before the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You may lay your petition. Any other petition, please hit your microphone if you have any. All petitions referred to the Committee on Public Petitions. Honorable Engineer Sani, you have a motion of urgent public importance. Your mic is not on now.
Honorable Bala, come and use this.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Engineer Sani Bala, Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I represent Punchi Sanya Imperial constituency from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I want to come under Rule 8, Order 5, on urgent, Order 8, Rule 5, to Rule 4 and 4 to 5, for a very matter of urgent public importance, and is on the urgent need to investigate the recurring national grid collapse with a view to addressing the multiple and more dire consequences associated with power outages in the country occasioned by these collapses. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that the national grid...
They have to support first.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I saw you.
Pray.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Priye Oseke. I represent Southern Ijaw Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Engineer Sani Bala. I so second.
Okay, Engineer Sani, please, let's put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Sani, this is about the shutdown of the grids, the frequent shutdowns of the grids. Okay, collapse of the grids. Okay, please move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The motion is on the urgent need to investigate the recurring national grid collapse with a view to addressing the multiple and dire consequences associated with power outages in the country occasioned by these collapses. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that the national grid collapses occur when there are system disturbances along the transmission line connecting number of generating stations. Concerned that since 2013, when the privatization exercise took place in the power sector, the country has witnessed over 100 national grid collapses, a challenge which experts and operators said will linger for a long time if not addressed. Further concern that only this year, the national grid has collapsed 8 times, more than the 3 times recorded last year, thereby causing national power outages with enormous socio-economic implications. Equally concerned that the latest in the series of power failures has been adjudged among the worst the country has witnessed in recent times, which in turn indicate that there is no framework or spinning reserve meant to forestall such occurrences. Worried that it is incomprehensible that all the key power plants in the country, including Ebin, Otorogo, Chevron, Oredo, Oben Gas Power Plant, Ugeli, and Chevron Escabos Power Plants, will all shut down once. Also worried that the issue of system collapse may not be unconnected with the transmission companies of Nigeria's lack of wheeling capacity, inadequate transmission lines and spinning reserves, as well as refusal to fast-track construction of digital control centers instead of the company's current analog system. The House also notes that the available statistics from the research show that if the power generators is inadequately wheeled and transmitted for distribution to customers, there will be a 30% reduction in the cost of generating power, thus leading to a corresponding reduction in the prices of utilities and electricity supply market. The House therefore resolved to mandate the Committee on Power to conduct investigation into the root causes of incessant national grid collapse in the country, vis-a-vis transmission TCN capacity to address the ugly trend in order to forestall future occurrences and protect our already fragile socio-economic environment. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Koko, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Dr. Shehu Mohammed Koko from Kebbi State. I represent the good people of Koko Bese, Myanmar Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, Engineer Sani. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Toby, you want to speak against? You want to speak? Okay. Instead of taking any lead debate, let's. I think the motion speaks for itself. Okay, go ahead. You want to add flesh to your motion? Or you want to just leave it?
The motion is straightforward and self-explanatory because of the common trend we found ourselves. Just last week, Mr. Speaker, the country was in darkness for more than 5 to 6 hours, and it takes the transmission company a minimum of maybe 3 to 5 hours to restore the system after the collapse. So there is a need to gear up, because from January to today, I think we had more than 8 times when, if you compare it to what happened last year, it was just 3. So we don't know if we do not put a stop to this trend, maybe we don't know what will happen in the future. So that is why the transmission company need to be investigated on their capacity to even handle the transmission of power to various distribution stations. So I think the motion is self-explanatory.
Okay. Honorable Toby.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Wojiriba Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I think this motion comes essentially within the realm of a matter that is important and public. It's important because if we don't prevent a situation where the grid collapses and it continues to occur repeatedly, it is fairly more regular to have grid collapse than we actually have light. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, I think the essence of this investigation should go to finding what we can do as a country to cure the issues of power generation, transmission, and distribution. As at 2015, we had about 5,000 megawatts. Presently, we have about 5 or less. It has been all motion, no movement. And we have seen other countries that have gone ahead to start power generation programs.
Chief Whip, please approach the chair.
We have seen other countries start power generation problems to solve them, and they transit into solving them. South Africa, that is less in population, generates close to 50,000 megawatts. The same with Egypt. And a country that has more than 200 million people is not able to generate up to 5,000 or distribute up to 5,000 megawatts. How can we industrialize, Mr. Speaker? So I believe that we have issues which is disturbing, making it impossible. You might be talking about unemployment, but if you don't generate power, if your industries don't run, how can you employ people? Government essentially employs almost about 1% or 2% of the population. The entire rest is done by the private sector. And without power, how can you employ people? How can you begin to solve our problems? And it is unfortunate and really sad that for close to 10 years now, we've not been able to overcome this partition. We privatize the companies, we think we can solve the problem, it's not solved. Then we say government should go back, it is not. Something's wrong is happening. And the intervention of Parliament, fundamentally, is not going to be limited to grid collapse. The consequential effect is there. What is leading to this? What changes and transformations do we need to do? Because there isn't any way we can begin to have grid collapse. Just every month you have a grid collapse. What is the consequences? So I think that Parliament needs to take this seriously. This is one investigation that should be concluded on time, and it should be part of the report card with regard to what we do with power generation transmission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Toby. I actually thought you were speaking against. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Any personal explanation? No. So we move on. Who? Who will say yes? No, Maki, I didn't know you had an amendment to that motion. Sorry. You should have just... Osai, what's your personal explanation?
Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, first of all, I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai, and I represent the good people of Ndokwa West, Ndokwa East, and Okwani local government of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, what I was thinking to advance in terms of the amendment was to go beyond investigation.
Can you read your point of order on personal explanation?
You know, I just followed Mr. Speaker's speech to ride on it, to ride on Mr. Speaker foundation.
The next item on the agenda was personal explanation, and I asked if anybody had personal explanation, and you said yes.
It's just by privilege I wanted to ride on Mr. Speaker platform to be able to advance these fundamental issues.
Unfortunately, we already put the question.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
It's just an addendum.
Well, there's no addendum. We put the question.
It's okay, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any real personal explanation? Honorable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 5 bills, and I invite the clerk to read the short title.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Lapai, Niger State Establishment Bill 2022, first reading. Federal Colleges of Education Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. National Cereals Research Institute, Badegi, Niger State Establishment Bill 2022, first reading. National College of Laboratory Technology, Health Sciences and Medical Imaging, Agai, Niger State Establishment Bill 2022, first reading. Chartered Nigerian Institute for Industrial Security Establishment Bill 2022, first reading.
Honorable Gagdi, please, where are you going? Honorable Gagdi. Honorable Gagdi, you walked across the maze. Please do the right thing. Any seconder? Honorable Gagdi, please second. You are lucky we have free sitting.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, my name is Yusuf Gagdi. I represent Panshinkanke Kanam Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Amendment of the Emergency Management Act. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, please read the long title of the bill. That's not where we are. Okay, so we hadn't done the first order of the day, sorry. The Honorable Wawuba moved his bill, right? All right. First order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the National Emergency Management Act, CAP, N43, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for greater efficiency in the operations of the National Emergency Management Act and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Henry Wawuba. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 8 December 2022. I now invite Honorable Wawuba to move that the bill will now read the second time.
Is it working? Okay. Yes. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. I remain Henry Wawuba, and I represent the enterprising people of Mbitoli Gedru Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the National Emergency Management Agency CAP Act N34 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for greater efficiency in the operations of the National Emergency Management Agency and for related matters, House Bill 1155. I so move.
Honorable Gagdi, please second. Honorable Gagdi, please second.
Sir, My name is Yusuf Gagdi. I represent Paishinkanke Kanam Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by Honorable Henry. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
You may approach the chair. Well, Honorable Toby is questioning whether you are properly seated. Unfortunately, we don't have assigned seats yet. So for now, he's properly seated. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. All right, clerk, long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Emergency Management Agency Act (CAP) N3 for laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for greater efficiency in operations of the National Emergency Management Agency and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. Second order of the day is commencement of debate of the provisions of a bill for an act to amend to repeal the Notaries Public Act Cap 141 N141 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Notaries Public Bill 2022 to provide for the appointment of notaries public, their registration, and to regulate the duty of the office of the notary public and to make provisions for the performance of digital and remote notarization of documents by notaries public in Nigeria and the recognition of digitally notarized documents as being validly notarized and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Ifeanyi Moma and Honorable Ozurigo and Honorable Henry Nwauba. So we have three sponsors. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 23rd June 2022, and I invite Honorable Moma to move that the bill be read a second time. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm a co-sponsor of this bill, and Honorable Ifeanyi Momo is not available at the moment. I sponsored this bill with Henry Nwauba and Ifeanyi Momo. Mr. Speaker, with the permission, my name is Honorable Gono Ziribo. I'm from Imo State, Mr. Speaker. I represent the good people of Onkwere, Isu, Mwangalan Jaba Federal Constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, with me is a bill for an act to repeal the Notaries Public Act Cap N141, laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Notaries Public Bill 2022 to provide for the appointment of notaries public, their registration, and to regulate the duty of the office of the notary public, and to make provisions for the performance of the digital and remote notarization of documents by notaries public in Nigeria, and the recognition of digitally notarized documents as being valid notarized and for related matters. I hereby move the bill, sir.
Thank you. I don't know if Honorable Chidi, Honorable Mama is here. So Honorable Henry, please second. You are also a co-sponsor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues. I remain Henry Nwauba, speaking for the enterprising people of Mbitoli Kedru Federal Constituency, and I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Osby. I so second.
Honorable members, the question is that the bill be now read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, long title, please.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Notaries Public Act (CAP) N141 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Notaries Public Bill 2022 provide for appointment of notaries public, their registration, and to regulate the duty of the office of the notary public and make provisions for the performance of digital and remote notarization of documents by notaries public in Nigeria and the recognition of digitally notarized documents as being validly notarized and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the committee of the whole. Third
Honorable
order of the
Gagdi,
day-
take your seat. Honorable Gagdi, take your seat.
The third order of the day is commencement of debate of the general principle of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Federal College of Agriculture, Kagako, Kaduna State, for the purpose of providing qualitative education in agricultural sciences, agricultural management, and extension and other technical knowledge in agriculture and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Gabriel Saleh Zok. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read for the first time on Wednesday, 13th October 2021, and I'll call on Honorable Zok to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Honorable Koko, take your seat. Member
I'm
representing
not sure
Kusada.
Honorable Zok is here.
Mr. Speaker, it seems Honorable Zok is not on the floor. I move that second reading of this bill be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Bill step down. Fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish the Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, to provide for the legal framework for the administration and management of the center, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Sergius Ogun. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read for the first time on Thursday, 23rd June 2021, and I invite Honorable Ogun to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my highly esteemed colleagues. I'm Sergius Ogun. I represent Esan Northeast, Esan Southeast, and I'm from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, to provide legal framework for the administration and management of the center, and for related matters, HB 1562, be read for a second time. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Maki, please second.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamuduri Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Sergius. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, Uromi, Edo State, to provide legal framework for the administration and management of the center and for related matters. Second reading.
Honorable members, the following is a list of the Okay, sorry, this matter will now be sent to the Committee on Health Institutions. Honorable colleagues, ad hoc committee on investigation of incessant killings by officers of the Nigerian Customs Service in Egbado South and Ikmukia local government areas of Ogun State. The chairman is Mukhtar Ahmed. Deputy Chair Nkole Uku. Members are Honorable Murtala Isa, Honorable Abdullah Halims, Honorable Hembe Herman, Honorable Shehu Koko, Benjamin Kalu, Buka Ghana, Victor Akijo, Dachok Musa Bagos, Honorable Abubakar Maki, Ibrahim Umar Potiskum. And Honorable Peter Owolabi. The fifth order of the day is a motion on discharge of committees on referrals on bills pursuant to Order 17, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives, standing name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Fulata. Honorable Fulata is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Buniwa, Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, discharge of committees on referrals on bills pursuant to Order 17, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. House notes that the following bills were read a second time separately between 2019 and 2021 and referred to committees of the House for legislative action. 1. Federal College of Agriculture Technology, Oshun Ekiti Bill 2020, House Bill 649, Fire and Rescue Service Bill 2019, House Bill 83, Nigerian Minerals and Mining Bill 2019, House Bill 87, Nigerian Institute of Translators and Interpreters Establishment Bill 2019, House Bill 136, Pension Reform Act Amendment Bill 2022, House Bill 1841, Forensic Science University of Nigeria, Erin Ile, Kwara State Establishment Bill 2021, House Bill 1754, aware that the committees are yet to present the report of on the bills, contrary to provisions of Order 17, Rule 3G of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives. To wit, any matter referred to any committee shall be treated within 30 days. Otherwise, the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days, and the matter committed to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. House resolves to discharge the above-mentioned committees from the bills referred to them and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Taiwo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Taiwo Oluga is my name. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Osun State, and I speak on behalf of all the people of Riwoli Federal Constituency. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as moved by the Chairman, Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Sixth order of the day is a motion on the need to rehabilitate Ojakpata, Ankpa, Ibana, Okpo failed portion of Itobe Anyigwa, Otukpa Federal Highway, standing in the name of Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims. Honorable Halims, please move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Halims is my name. I am from Kogi State, one of the safest states in this country today. I represent the good people of Ankpa, Omala, Lamboro Federal Constituency. I rise to move the motion on the urgent need indeed to rehabilitate Ojapata, Ankpa, Ibana, Okpo, failed portion of Itobe, Anyigba,
Otupa Federal Highway. The House recalls that the administration of former military President General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida initiated and constructed the Itobe, Anyigba, and Otupa Federal Highway in 1986, linking part of the North Central to the entire southeastern states and the South-South geopolitical zone of Nigeria. Note that since the construction of the road, major rehabilitation work was carried out by late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua administration, neglecting the Ojapata, Ankpa, and Ibana Oko road, which falls within the Ankpa Federal constituency, thus leaving the road in a state of disrepair, causing accidents and untold hardship to road users. The House resolves to urge the Federal Minister of Works and Housing, in collaboration with the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to rehabilitate the road to prevent hardship and multiple auto crashes and multiple deaths on the road. 2, mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure implementation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Deputy Whip, you want a second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Kiruka Onyegeorge. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Munoji Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to second this motion as ably moved by Honorable Halims. I so second.
It's an infrastructure motion, so I'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Seventh order of the day is a motion on the need to reconstruct Wari Sapele, Benin Road, and Sapele Amukpe to Agbo Road in Delta State, standing in the name of Honorable Anthony Afe and Honorable Ben Ibakwa. Honorable Afe is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Ben Roland Igbakwa. I represent Ethiop East, Ethiop West, and by the special grace of God, we're from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, the motion is on the need to reconstruct the Wari Sapele Benin Road and Sapele Amukwe to Agbo Road in Delta State. The House notes that the importance of road infrastructure in socio-economic development cannot be overemphasized. Hence, the need to reconstruct the Palos Wari Sapele Benin Road and Sapele Agbo Amukwe to Agbo Road that serves Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, and River State with other South-South oil-producing states in particular and Nigeria generally. Also note that the major road of about 104.5 kilometer distance was constructed 27 years ago and is the most preferred route for articulated vehicle used for oil and gas haulage, operating from Delta State to other parts of Nigeria. Aware of similar roads in the country that are not as important as the Wari Sapele Benin Road and Sapele Amukwe to Agbo Road constructed within the same period have undergone rehabilitation, while the Wari Benin Sapele Road and Sapele Amukwe to Agbo, through which the country derives its source of wealth, is left in total state of disrepair. Disturbed by the suffering of the people plying the road and the cries of loss of man-hour, as a journey of 1 hour now takes about 8 hours due to the deplorable state of the roads, thus paralyzing the socio-economic activities of the zone. Also aware that the road is a federal road and the governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, has expended billions of naira to fix some affected portions of the road. But with the recent pronouncement by the federal government that directs states to stop intervening in the federal roads has made the state so hands-off road repair, thus leaving the road in total disrepair. Worried that criminals have taken advantage of the deplorable state of the roads to rob, kill and kidnap road users and motorists along the highways. The House thereby resolved to 1, urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to embark on the construction of the road. 2, also urge the Inspector General of Police to deploy more police officers to the affected roads to protect citizens from being attacked. And 3, mandate the Committee on Works to ensure compliance. I beg to move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Affair, I don't believe he's here. Honorable Ari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Ari Mohammed Abdulmun, my name. I represent the Toto Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion. Every move by his colleague, I so second.
Another infrastructure motion. I'll put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Amendment. Honorable Jah.
Mr. Speaker, due to the importance of this motion, as well as the road presented in the motion, I want to amend the last prayer of the motion. Ameja Hababa is my name, and I represent the amiable people of Chibok, Goza, and Dambo Federal Constituency. That to mandate Committee on Works and Police Affairs to ensure compliance. Police Affairs to ensure compliance. Thank you, sir.
Police Affairs.
Yes.
What will be the relevance?
Very good. The relevance here is the second prayer of the motion, if you observe, has to do with human life.
To do what?
Human lives. Also urge the Inspector General of Police to deploy more police officers to the affected roads to protect citizens from being attacked. So I'm specifically interested in this. Police Affairs Committee may add value to ensure compliance. This is my amendment, sir.
Honorable Wumi, please second the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, fellow honorable members, I am Honorable Omoumi Olubumi Ogunola. I'm representing all the people of Ijero, Ekiti West, F4. I'm from Ekiti State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the amendment as moved by Honorable Jaha. I so second. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Eighth order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professionals of Nigeria for effective regulation, registration of members, and determination of what standard of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members and qualifications to practice as forensic and investigative professionals, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 21st June 2022. The leader will move for its consideration. Leader.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My respected colleagues, I remain Ado Dogwa. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise by your directives to move for the consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professionals of Nigeria for effective regulation, registration of members, and determination of what standard of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members, and qualification to practice as forensic and investigative professionals, and for related matters, HB 791. I equally would like to move concurrently, Mr. Speaker, by your leave, that a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Public Administration of Nigeria and to make provisions, among other things, for membership and control of the profession of public administration and for related matters, HB 329, be considered. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move concurrently. Thank you.
Okay, I believe the leader has moved for the consideration of two bills. We'll get somebody to second both motions. So, Honorable Leki Abejide.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Honorable Leki Abejide is my name. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. I rise to second the motion moved by the leader of the House. I so second.
Thank you. Those who support that the two bills be considered, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. House Leader, please move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider the bills.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to move by your directive, Mr. Speaker, that the House resolves to Committee of the Whole to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so respectfully move. Thank you.
Leader. No, not.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable. by the grace of God. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Gideon Gwani. I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. I come from Kaduna State. I rise to second that the reports be considered, that this House do resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole to consider the reports. I so second.
Thank you, Leader. Those who support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. The House resolved to the Committee of the Whole.
See the exit we are following.
This one. Ask Respected colleagues, the first bill to consider is for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professionals of Nigeria for effective regulation, registration of members, and determination of what standard of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members and qualifications to practice as forensic and investigative professionals and for related matters. I now invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Chairman, sir, obviously I want to believe that this is a straightforward matter before the House for consideration. is an establishment bill, Mr. Chairman, to come up with an institute, like you mentioned, to guide professional conduct of members of that institute. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I think in line with our legislative agenda is to promote professional practices so that our professionals can also compete shoulder to shoulder with their global counterpart. Mr. Speaker, I think if the House considers and approves these recommendations therein, I think will be it's a very critical mark in enhancing professionals and their professional practice. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to plead with members to look at this from this perspective and allow the considerations to pass. Thank you.
Well, colleagues, I guess this is the third time we are considering this bill in the Committee of the Whole. And the last time we did the consideration, I recall, there were similar bills done by Benilar. We were trying to consolidate, but we allowed it to go because we had the assurance from the sponsor of the bill that the president was going to assent once those corrections are made. And I tried to find out from the chairman rules the exact position of this bill now. I don't know the areas that have been raised, which I believe if I ask the leader, he may not know, too, and as to whether it has been complied with the fundamental errors and issues raised. I think this is where we are. Mr. Chairman, I wish the sponsor of this bill, Honorable Buba, is around. Now that he's not around, and you've raised an issue relating to Honorable Benilar's bill, we are not in a hurry. May I suggest that we step down this bill with a view to getting it reconciled with that of Honorable Benilar. I move that we step down consider of this bill. Well, I will beg that, so that we stop the back foot movement, that the Committee on Business and Rules, liaise. I believe that there should be official communication as to why the bill is being returned to us, and maybe go through it and ensure that those observations are complied with. This is my own ruling. Thank you. Before it is returned back to the floor, to the committee for consideration. Respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered is for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Public Administration of Nigeria and to make provisions, among other things, for membership and control of the profession of public administration and related matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my respected colleagues. I would like to say that the second bill for consideration at the moment, Mr. Speaker, is also in same vein to establish an institute that will enhance professionalism in the sector of public administration in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I think, like I've earlier argued, this bill should be considered with that motive of really enhancing and promoting professionalism in our various sectors, whether in the economy or in the area of administration. So for me, except if we have any similar observations like earlier raised in respect of this bill, so I think it's a harmless bill and we can plead with our members to get it considered, except if for any other legislative observation that could possibly subject same bill to same treatment that we have given to the preceding bill. Thank you, and God bless you.
Maybe my issue is based on the Chamber's brief. Is it a Senate bill? It's a House bill. If it's a House bill, why asking the leader to give the synopsis? It should have been the chairman of the committee. I think it's a committed, the committed bill. It was committed.
Retrieved from the committee.
Not from the committee, from assembly to assembly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Respected colleagues, clause 1. Clause 2. Clause 3. Clause 4. Clause 4. Clause 5. Clause 6. Clause 7. Clause 8. Clause 9. Clause 10. Clause 11. Clause 12. Clause 13. Clause 13. 14. Clause 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. Clause 21. 20, sorry. 21. 22. Schedules. Explanatory memoranda. Long title. Leader, move for the House to revert to plenary to report progress.
Mr. Chairman, my respected colleagues, the leader of the opposition that is left alone on the opposition row, Right Honorable Gideon Gwani, I stand before you to move that this House do revert to plenary and report progress. Thank you.
Yes, Whip.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marcha Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the motion that the House do revert to plenary to report progress.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. To revert to plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report on a bill for an act to establish a Chartered Institute of Forensic and Investigative Professions of Nigeria for effective regulation of members and determination of what standard of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members, qualification to practice as forensic and investigative professionals and for related matters, and step down consideration for further legislative action. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Public Administration of Nigeria and make provisions, among other things, for members and control of professions of public administration and for related matters, approved process 1 to 22, the schedules, the long title, the explanatory memoranda of the bill. Leader, move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I rise to move that the report of the Committee of the Whole, as read by the Speaker and the Chair, be adopted. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marcha Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the motion that the House to adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, move for the adjournment of the House.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Adodogwa remains my name. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the people of Chudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I am from Kano State. I rise by the leave of the chair to move that this House do adjourn till Wednesday, the 5th day of October, 2022 by 11 a.m. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so respectfully move. Thank you.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, I'm Comrade Peter Ohionzoje Agbatasin, MNI. I represent the great people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion for the adjournment of the House as ably moved by the Leader of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned to tomorrow, 11 a.m.